best night I've had in the last 5 years is a night that Zoe and I split a bottle of wine, we made a summer salad, and watched chocolat together.
You mean chocolate?
Chocolat.
Chocolate with Johnny Depp.
Chocolat.
You're not fucking French, Pete. It's called chocolate.
They say great art is difficult to understand, but easy to enjoy.
Hey, Beavis. It's hard, but it's not like hard.
Yeah.
Well, good evening, everybody. No big, long, stretched out good evening tonight. We're just going to get straight into the thick of it. We're late. We'll explain later on, but we're here. We're definitely straight. Well, that's debatable. And we're going to have fun talking about the mixed bag that is Deadpool 2. So let's bring this damn overlay down of Mad Mardigan. But how you all doing tonight? Let's see here. Let's acknowledge those wonderful faces. I see Vince. Whoa, Mac. How's it going? DJ Play Nice. What's up, dude? Nice to see you here. Darth Viewer. Hello, hello. I have Novik. Hello. Nice to see you. Jonathan Conroy. What's up? Hello, Gwen Stacy as well. Long time no see. Welcome. And of course, for those of you who like to have it both ways, we are swinging both ways between here and Rumble. So by all means, please come and hang out. Otherwise, you could pick your lane. If you're one of those ones who prefers a life of exclusivity, you can choose the way of the left or the way of the right. AKA, do you want to be on YouTube or do you want to be on Rumble? I don't care. I'm giving you options because that's what a nice dude does. Because why simply not? But we got our fellows here, so let's bring on Mark D with a C. Sir, how are you doing?
Most excellent. And, you can go both ways. You could watch Rumble and YouTube at the same time, too, if you wanted to.
Yeah, you could go both ways. Yeah, double your ambition. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, there's nothing wrong with, being brave and bold, right? I mean, Batman was brave and bold, was he not?
For sure, yeah. So, that was quite the team up on Brave and Bold all the time. Yeah, so some great comics there, yep. But this movie's a lot. I mean, people don't think it's as good as Deadpool. But yeah, it's tough to get be as good as the original. But I have a lot of fun watching this, and a lot of great one-liners and inside comic jokes and fourth wall breaking. So it's more fun. And of course, you got the kill Hitler in the past syndrome thrown in there for good measure too. So. It does actually there's a good heart to this, to this movie. So
the heart, I feel like, saves this movie because I do have quite a bit of issues with this movie. And the reason why I still wanted to go through it forward wise is because there's still toxicity there. So even though the quality is definitely going to be very debatable, the toxicity is absolutely there. And I feel like it's definitely worthy of that discussion. So I look forward to discussing that with you and our other fellas, Mark. We're gonna make it a jolly night filled with dudes.
Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah. Any holidays you're celebrating out there? We're getting close to that reason for the season. So,
and Guam is on something. It felt too. It was just funny considering nowadays so many things are overly long. I feel like it tries to cram a few things too many while maintaining its runtime. If you really want to maintain 2 hours, it should have went on a diet. But nowadays, Hollywood doesn't believe in going on diets. And you know what? That's your problem for not going on a diet. Hey, just because I can pound Red Bull like it's nobody's business doesn't mean you should do it too. Anyways, before I go on about that, we're going to bring our other dudes in here. Like just another red shirt. How are you, sir?
I am Dandy. I was fine this afternoon.
I like you, Dandy.
But I've only been fine and dandy once for 9 minutes in one day in March in 1993.
March 93. What happened?
You got married?
Was that you married?
That was a month after I got married.
Well, I'm happy you're here, Red Shirt. Okay, let's have a jolly old homoerotic night of greatness, shall we?
Yeah. I want to hear your issues. I have one or two, but they're relatively minor, and they wouldn't have cut the runtime much.
That's okay. No, I
I'd like to.
I feel
I'd like
this will
to
be
hear
a-
yours.
good. I feel like maybe we'll have some genuine debate, like the way we all did on Moonraker a few years ago. So I look forward to it. That was wild, the Moonraker conversation. So
It was.
let's see if we can do a little bit of that tonight. So it should be fun. Hi Tom, I just saw you a few minutes ago.
Hey, well, I mean, the most toxic thing about this movie is Cher is on the soundtrack. So,
Tom,
no, I mean, this movie, I'm one of the people who did
Tom,
not
you're
like this
breaking up.
movie. Oh, because I'm probably on my phone. That's why. I did not care for this movie. Famously, I took a lot of flack for it too when it came out because I hate that fucking kid. I hate that fucking kid.
Oh, the kid.
Cable was right.
Right. There should have been a hashtag that said like Stranger Things, the justice for Barb. There should have been a hashtag for Cable was right. There really should have been. Oh man, there really should have been. No, I'm looking forward to discussing that. I think there's going to be a more engaging discussion out of this one. Mark, are you ready to get it up? And
Yeah, I
in?
need about 30 seconds because I
Oh,
gotta
okay.
cover up the one.
We
I'll
can hold.
slide
We can
in.
hold on. We can hold on a
Yeah.
little longer while you're ready to get it in.
I'm
I
just
can wait for you.
I'm just putting a pasty on something. If
You're
that
putting a pasty on it while we'll wait for you to get in. You're putting a pasty on it. Everything about that sounds really touching, very touching, Mark. I mean, how will we go on in our lives? How will we go on?
we will try, but I actually did the extended edition in this movie. Have you ever watched the extended, longer, harder edition of it?
The super duper cut or the PG-13
Yeah,
cut? Because I know there's like
super
3
duper cut.
versions of this.
The super duper cut.
I've only seen the theatrical, so I'm curious to hear your perspective then on how the super duper cut. Maybe it adds some girth to the movie. Much needed.
It does. It does.
Oh, 2 men have seen the super duper cut. Well,
Yeah,
now
I haven't got it.
I've seen it. I don't really care for it any more than the original version, but yeah.
Yeah, I've got it's available on the 4K 3 movie set that you can buy. The middle movie is actually the extended cut. That's all they give you is the extended cut. It's great.
It came with the original discs too, yeah.
Yeah. Now he's like, damn it. You're the only one.
I was so like kind of put off by the sequel when I saw it in theaters opening weekend. I just never gave a super duper cut a try. Now I'm actually kind of curious because there are things that I am more fond of watching it, my second viewing ever. And there's some things on it that I was like, okay, this is why I had problems back in 2018. Because I remember this was 2 weeks after Infinity War was in theaters, and that was mopping the floor clean on theaters. And this is a great poster, by the way. This is a awesome poster. I'll say as far as marketing goes, the marketing, as per usual, is a home run. That we gotta give consistency credit where it's due. The marketing is A+. I remember seeing this poster and think, oh, that's cool. That's clearly some pop star type of bullshit. Awesome. I'll roll with it. I like it.
Well, yeah, that's one of the things about this
table in the movie. Go on, Mark.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say, one of the things about this is a lot of it is do you get all the inside jokes here because this is from Splashdance, which is a late 70s, early 80s, Flashdance. I said Splashdance. And there's a famous scene in there, where the girl is dancing.
Flashdance was a softcore porn ripoff, actually.
Yeah. That's kind of like a Footloose, an earlier version of Footloose, but there's so many references in here. Like, I mean, it's hysterical, but if you know it, or like, I'm guessing Nick Weiser has not seen Yenta by Barbara Streisand.
I have not. I have not. What can I say? I spent my life watching movies with Sylvester Stallone and Bruce Willis and Kurt Russell, Charles Bronson. That was just my life, and outside of that, the world was just not real. It was not real.
But that's the joke. I mean, like someday we'll do a joke like we'll start doing Yenta for like if this falls on April Fool's again. someday. We'll start.
Yeah.
Have a special movie, Yentl, and it's Barbara Streisand. Said, Papa, can you hear? You know, that's that whole song, and she pretends to be a boy, a guy in that movie too, which is even more hysterical.
Okay, right off the bat. Now, this is where
Yeah,
some of my
kick
strengths
ass.
of the movie immediately kick in. Love the beginning of this movie. I feel like it set the stage greatly, and I love how they were right off the bat acknowledging the end of Logan.
Oh,
with
the overlay, Nick. Sorry. Yep.
Yeah, I'll get it up. Don't worry.
Yeah.
You can. I'm looking for my Orangina. I found it.
Okay, got it.
See,
Yep.
I found it. But I love this, and I still love this just as much now. The fact that we're acknowledging the ending of Logan, which I've been on record saying that is, I'm one of the ones in the minority. I was never wild about Logan. And Deadpool and Wolverine actually redeemed Wolverine for me because of where my issues with Logan were. So, but that's a conversation for hint, hint, next week, episode 200. But bring it back here. I like how they had it right off the bat. You see him stabbed. You hear the music playing that was from Logan. And Deadpool's like, oh, so you just go off dying on me. He's like, well, shit, dude. I guess I'm going to be dying too. I thought, okay, that is great that we're going for that. It was, and on top of it, it kind of adds to the 3-movie arc of building up to that Wolverine team up, because the first movie, there's a few acknowledgments of Wolverine. This movie does a few of them as well. It was almost like that was always like the goal, is to get that inevitable Deadpool and Wolverine team up. And these 2 movies were really great foundations for getting that out. It always felt like, in retrospect, that was meant to be the destination, and we're still in the mode of the chase and not at the
well,
yet.
We're just learning that Deadpool and Wolverine was actually started off as a completely different movie. Some elements stayed, but it was originally going to be Deadpool Saves Christmas. I don't know if you guys heard about that more recently. That leaked out.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, that was the original Deadpool 3 idea, was going to be a secret Christmas movie, and we weren't even supposed to know it was going to be a Deadpool movie until it opened. It was like this big thing they were going to do with, and basically the plot was similar, with Deadpool and Wolverine teaming up to save Christmas, basically, instead of the MCU. But anyhow, like, yeah, I mean, to be clear, I love the opening of this movie. There's a lot of great shit in it. I hate that they killed Vanessa. That's where things go, awry to begin with. And then the whole time travel thing, like, I hate, honestly, I dislike, I'm getting sick of Josh Brolin. He's like the white Pedro Pascal at this point. Everything. And it's like, I'm getting tired of him. He's gotten so many shots at being comic book characters. He's been more comic book characters than anybody else at this point, I think. I shit you not, between Jonah Hex, what's his face from Avengers, Thanos, and Cable, and all that other shit, I think he's gotten more comic book parts than anybody else. Maybe Ryan Reynolds is close with Deadpool and what's his face from
Green Arrow,
Blade
Green Lantern,
3, and then Green Lantern.
and Blade. Yeah, he was in Blade, but
just so you know, Tom, just so you know, I brought your mic volume down because when you speak, you can hear some static when you speak. So
I'm on my phone. That's probably why, because I'm roaming around the house making something to eat and shit at the same time. Sorry about that.
No, it's okay.
But no, I just wanted to kind of explain why I didn't like the movie, and then I get the fuck out of here so you guys can just come over it anyway. And that fucking kid. I hate that fucking kid. That fucking kid needs to die. I hate him. I hate him in every movie since then because of this movie too. He is just obnoxious. Yeah. And maybe it's because he reminds me too much of my kid, and I want to knock him upside the head.
It was entirely populated by criminals.
Like, let the fucking die. I don't care.
Yeah, just one comment, Nick, on your talking about the arc leading to Deadpool and Wolverine. The first movie references it. This movie sets him in competition with.
Yeah. First movie.
Hey, you had to go and die on me, so I'm gonna die too.
Yeah. I do love how that happens. Yeah. First movie was acknowledging, hey, there's Wolverine around. Second movie was like, oh, okay, well, now I'm just gonna respond to your movie by dying too. Yeah, as you mentioned, I love that. And the third movie was the Wolverine team up, and it feels like it was always meant to go down that road, regardless of how the story is going to be, whether it's through time travel or a saving Christmas. I like that it was always meant to. It just feels like, in retrospect, even though we got what we got, and we're hearing now about this Christmas story that could be. Which, don't get me wrong, I'm very curious about what could have been with that. That is definitely something that would have tickled my pickle. That's for sure. I would have definitely been all in on the curiosity of that. And this is another part where it continues to stay great earlier on in the movie. I like this first fight right off the bat. I do enjoy this. It's great. It's just great standard Deadpool in action, and great standard Deadpool in action is good. He's fighting bad guys, killing the shit out of them, being violent, being fun, and of course, doing all these signature Deadpool traits you would expect in a Deadpool action sequence. So this is right. This is the part where at this point, I'm still all in on where it's going. This is I'm a happy kid with a mad chubby about this part. So we're not at the Vanessa stuff yet, but this for me is where I'm like, oh yeah, oh yes, give it to me more. This is good here for me because I remember I saw this opening way. I saw it with a group of.
9 to 5 bit is great.
Say that again, Tom.
I said, yeah, the 9 to 5 bit is great.
Oh, okay, the 9 to 5. Okay, yeah. Okay, I get what you're saying now. Sorry, I'm like, what? Okay,
and it's just another. It's of course it's got to be preceded by another fourth wall breaker. Hit it, Dolly.
Yeah. And
but I love how creative the fighting is. The fight choreography is. Mm-hmm. In some ways, it reminds me of a Jackie Chan movie. In that there's always a twist to the way he does it, or is often a twist, and it is unrelentingly effective. There's no pulling punches. I mean, the guy, he cuts both arms off in the bath scene,
and legs too, right?
And then there's another legs. Yep. Oh, the guy is hopping around. He looks like a frog without his arms. It's a really weird, brief moment, and you're like, holy shit. Like, he really went there. He cut the guy's arms off at the shoulder. There's nothing left. So yeah,
you see that sign that says no kung fu wine.
Yeah, I thought it said no fucking wine. I was like, yes, and then, it's a dance club. You shouldn't be expected to come to those things and be drinking wine there. Well, Deadpool's got quite the hair there, man. Holy stripper hair. Yeah. What did he do to get that look going on? Oh, he looks kind of like Blake Lively. Oh, wait, hold up. That's third movie premonitions of the incredible Lady Deadpool. But yeah, stripper bar Deadpool. Obviously, that's, if anything, for him, that's right in line. That's like, of course he'd be at the strip club doing this molly-whopping shit and still doing the molly-whopping in the back. Yo, dude, I never actually noticed those. How did I just notice that until now?
Well, that could be the extended edition. I'm trying to. I got to pull up an article that shows you like the difference between the two, but it adds about 15 minutes to the movie. So,
okay, I read this comment wrong. I read this. He jumped on his own sword to cut that one guy in half, and I read that as he jumped on his own dick and cut that one guy in half. Whoa, where did all these naked guys come from? Bro, it's like that. What is it? It's like Showdown Little Tokyo again.
Yeah.
Bro, what happened here? See, look at all that. Look at all those men, chat. Look at all that. Yeah.
Manly men.
Manly men. And one big thing I remember going into this movie, even though at this point I was still sold on it, I remember hearing word about, Tim Miller will not be back for the sequel. I thought, well, that's interesting. I was kind of like, this is a big success. Why is this already happening? You would assume that maybe you'd like to come back. And it turns out, and this definitely, I feel like how this played out, it definitely carries more weight into where we are today with Ryan Reynolds. Because I learned that he said at the time, the words are creative difference. And we eventually learned that those creative differences were Ryan Reynolds wanted more control of, the movies. And Tim Miller was not about that. He said, some directors, they want to play that game. Okay. I'm not that type of guy. And I get for Ryan's perspective because he understands the character. But, there's a time where even people who understand something might still need to have a bit of a leash on them to some point. I don't know how much David Leitch, however his name's spelled, he's the guy who took out the directing hands in this movie. I don't know how much control he maintained with the second movie, but I know that one of the other reasons he said was they wanted to ramp up the budget for the sequel, which, man, that's the most Hollywood thing ever, to just, we had to put in more money for the second movie. And he thought that the profitability of the first movie was right where it needed to be. Why expand upon a good thing? And he immediately saw the issues with that was the spending issue. So for how much Tim Miller self-destructed, for how much before you take it down, for how much Tim Miller self-destructed in 2019 with Dark Fate, he was right about the spending. And it seems because Tim Miller exited the movie, Gina didn't get her part in the sequel because she was attached to Tim Miller at the time. And because of Tim Miller being out, she was out along with him. But go ahead, Tom.
Well, and I was just going to say about the budget. The only reason they got away with the original film's budget the way they did is they didn't pay the special effects people and they got sued.
Oh,
And
yeah. We talked a little bit about that last week. Yeah, we covered on that.
I mean, as far as Tim Miller goes, like, yeah, I think we've learned more about Ryan Reynolds over the last year or two here, too, about how he conducts himself behind the scenes. And because there was also the other guy, was it TJ Miller, the actor?
Yeah, what happened to TJ Miller? Did they have a fight or something?
That whole spiel.
He was also talking about how Ryan kind of handles things behind the scenes. And it's funny because a lot of the people that were complaining about Ryan before, all of a sudden, a lot of the shit they were saying about him was a lot like what Blake Lively was doing to what's-his-ass over on the other side. So, I mean, again, I like Ryan Reynolds as an actor. I love almost everything he's in. But I would not be surprised if he's this horrible, egotistical jerk that we hear about in the background.
Yeah, I think both of them are.
Oh, I'm sure. It seems like Ryan's great with fans, at when he's around fans, and he's great to work with in terms of what he can bring to the table. But in terms of like the behind the scenes stuff and dealing with him when the cameras are not rolling, sounds like it could definitely be a whole other beast. And maybe that could be the benefit and the detriment at the same time, because that type of personality obviously works for this movie, because obviously he gets this character. He's passionate, genuinely passionate, unlike many who are just there because it's a gig and that's all they care about. But
Right.
also because he's so obsessive on control. Well, it could definitely create a big head. And on top of it, he should probably have only some control, because I get he understands the character, but there should be a limit on it, just to a point, because we gotta let the director have a way as well. Otherwise, the director is no different than an MCU director who's a hired hand.
Yeah, if the movie with Blake Lively that Tom mentioned is any indication, Ryan Reynolds' idea of creative control includes rewriting scenes with a completely new script that he just says, here, let's do this. And there's no review. There's no, it doesn't go through the normal script writing process. It just kind of shows up and he tells the director, this is what I want to use for this scene. And that's a lot to ask, because a director, if is trying to put together the story in shots, in pictures, images, moving images. To throw a whole different tone into a scene may mean he's suddenly on the fly now has to film it differently. He has to emphasize different things, and it's got to drive him nuts. So it's going to be a battle royale between a director and an actor like Reynolds, who understands the character and has no compunctions about stepping in and going, no, I don't like this. I don't like the way this scene is written. I want to do it this way. That's a lot.
Well, and it doesn't help that Ryan is a producer on top of it all. So he has, a say over things. And I mean, you can clash, and it's one of those things. Like, I can't knock him, because I mean, Deadpool and Wolverine was pretty much his idea too. So he's one for one, in my opinion, on the Deadpool front. Like, I just didn't care for part 2. I understand why people did. I mean, I took a lot of shit for not liking part 2, but I guess one thing we can say is he found his happy medium with Sean Levy as far as a director, I guess.
Yeah, maybe that's where, to be fair to Tim Miller, he said, what he wants out of others maybe that works for them, but for me, I'm not that director. So Tim Miller clearly has a line, and maybe his line is different from what Sean Levy wants as far as his line. So that could just be a personal thing as well. Maybe Sean and Ryan have a more compatible medium. Maybe they just also have more in common. So to them, it's not as much pushback because they think more alike versus what Tim Miller thinks versus what Ryan Reynolds thinks. And that could be a thing too. Compatibility can always make things by default easier if you just happen to think alike. Because when you think differently, there's going to always be default conflict. Always, even whether it's civil or not civil, there's just going to be conflict. It's just the nature of the beast. And I do like the line. I mentioned the line. I'm gonna go get dessert. You get the strap on. We'll make a super baby. She's like,
International
pretty
Women's
sure it
Day.
doesn't work that way, but we'll give it a go.
We can try.
I like how you mentioned the Luke nailing Leia. He's like, that's not how the movie happened. Oh man,
Yeah,
that shit was fucking great. Now, up to this point, I thought the way they handled the Vanessa death, I thought, oh man, I wasn't actually mad about it happening. I thought, okay, this is actually being well done, even because it was the idea of Deadpool's about to have a family building towards that, and now we're having to take it from him. And I feel like that is where, and I thought that was gonna escalate the movie. But for me, this is where the movie, it starts go up and down for me, because I do have some high moments in this, after the scene, but there's definitely some lows in it. But I can't believe I felt like the best portion of it was from the very beginning of this movie up until this death, because I thought it was very touching the way it happened, because it was like, it wasn't some big grand super fight against, I don't know, Magneto. It was just a guy come to their place where they live in private and going at his wife at a moment where he should be the most himself, the most vulnerable, and it was just taken away from him. And I thought, oh damn, this actually is like a great way to get the drop on him, because when he's in Deadpool mode on the moment, as a anti-hero, he's gonna be more on alert with those types of things. Here, this all caught him off guard. He had the drop. No, he had the drop on him, and that's not something that just happens. And because of that, he doesn't get to be as heroic. It was really weird saying heroic, but this is where he actually wants to be a hero, and he fails, and he fails miserably at that. So I'll explain where I was at the Vanessa stuff later on, but at this point, I thought it was well done. I thought, damn, this is actually kind of deep. I really appreciated that aspect. Go on.
And they addressed it in the credits too.
yeah. I liked Vanessa's role in this. It's different from the first movie, where they're together in life and planning to get together, planning to have a family. And then now here they're planning to have a family, and then she's killed. But the idea that he's trying to reach out to her and he can't, and she's telling him what he's missing. And we see that come back in the third film, where he has to figure that out for himself, which is that, why do you want to be an Avenger? Because I need it. Well, Avengers do the job because, don't do the job because they need it. They do the job because people need them.
Yeah.
This is a theme.
You gotta want to help. You gotta want to help.
Right. And this is a theme in Deadpool. And this is why, the perfect idiot fits him so well as a character, because he doesn't get it. Even when people hit him right in the face with it, it takes him 3 movies to really get it. That it's not enough to do it for yourself, no matter how much good you can accomplish. You've got to do it for the person you're helping. And it's the difference between doing good to somebody and doing good for somebody.
Yes.
Like that.
No, and there is a distinction there. I'm glad you mentioned that, because that's very important, and a key part of it. This 3-movie arc is that. Also, I want to add to this. Now, minor backtrack. I love this part, because I remember seeing this in the theaters thinking, wow, these credits are like almost like James Bond like.
It's James Bond
And
credits.
then I
Yes.
looked into it a few days ago. It turns out it was influenced by 007's,
Oh, yeah,
like
it's just-
exotic looking opening credits. I'm like, that is actually really awesome.
And
Go
the
on.
titles are so cool. Yeah, did they just kill her? Like, if you're paying attention in the movie theater, it's like, it's so well done. Like, the credits are breaking the fourth wall too.
Yeah. Starring a guy who
Presented by What the
obviously
Fuck.
starring a guy somebody who obviously doesn't like to share the spotlight.
yeah. She was like everyone's favorite character.
Yes.
It's just so good. I mean, just so freaking good. Yeah. Good luck at Bring Me Back, Fuckheads film editors. Yeah. So great James Bond. And, yeah, like he just didn't want to share the spotlight. Yeah.
Yep.
So
Yeah. I understand. I can easily understand the criticisms that people had of
Blame
Deadpool
the
and
writers,
Wolverine.
real heroes, my ass. Oh, see
Yeah.
that part is hilarious. So
Yeah.
when I said minor backtrack, this is what I'm referred to because this stuff I did love. It's how the story takes place after where it is up and down for me. But I did love these opening credits. That was just awesome having the Bond like credits and the fact that they maintain tradition with the names of did they really just kill her to what the fuck? That was awesome. And the way it was done too is just as funny now as it was. Holy crap, it's already been 7 years since this movie came out. Damn.
Yep.
Time flies. Damn.
Yeah. No, it's
speaking of time,
go ahead.
Sorry, speaking of time flying, I'm gonna fly out of here, but enjoy the show, guys, and I'll be back next week for Deadpool and Wolverine.
All right, Tom. Thank you
right.
for being here, sir. Appreciate you, bud. Thank you.
So long,
Have
Tom.
a good night. And Tom is pulling out.
I can two things. I can understand. I can understand the criticism. The disappointment is probably better. The disappointment with the credits in Deadpool and Wolverine not doing these crazy credits, just giving the names.
Right?
But the other one is, if you think about it, these movies' stories are told the same way. All three of them. You start out, you get acknowledged by Deadpool as the audience, and he says, well, to explain this, I need to take you back. We do that in the first movie. We do it here. And it's a great way for a movie to get you sucked in visually, then tell the story. Whereas if you begin at the beginning, it's slower. It can be done that way, and there are movies for which that works. But these movies are very much action comedies. And so start it off with a bang and grab them by the short and curlies and don't let go till it's over is the way this story gets told, and it works for a Deadpool movie.
That's in the super duper cut because that's not in the theatrical cut. Him hanging with these kids, unless my memory's shot.
This is new. This is new. This is a new scene. Yep.
Okay, now could you guys tell me about this scene? What I should know about this scene because that's
well, he's just he's just trying to self-delete himself, and he throws himself into the lion's cage or the polar bear cage.
And then the kids all react. Ah!
Okay, I actually want to watch this now. So wow,
yeah, and there's some
great.
great.
To seek this out.
Yeah, there's some crazy lines here too. It's like, "Are you a superhero? What's your name?" And then he's like, "Fucking hey, sweetie, Captain Delicious Pants." And then he throws, "Don't feed the polar bears." I mean, it's so bad, but it's just a throwaway scene. But it's and he's drinking Clog Clear and trying to land off then he jumps off the building here. It's like, because Deadpool can't kill himself. But that's the beauty of a hero like Wolverine and him, because those heroes can take the most damage in a fight. Like they're the ones that always get beaten to hell, right? So I can't believe you left the house in that shirt.
I do like and this is what I was liking about the Vanessa arc, especially up to this point, it was the thing that kept him the most grounded. Even though he was still himself with his style of humor, it was definitely the one person he really gave a shit about. Like that definitely made him whole. Like he didn't consider family, marriage. He obviously Wade Wilson doesn't give off that vibe to think about those things. But with her, he was rethinking those things like crazy. And sometimes that's all it takes is the right lady in your life to make you rethink those things. I mean, one guy could say, yeah, I don't want any of those things until the right lady, boom, exists for you. And you're like, okay, hold on. On second thought, and I thought, and to me, it was just like I could get why he feels this way. And it's got to be worse because he really can't die no matter what he does. So now he's stuck in this position where no matter how much misery he puts himself through, he's not going to die because, well, he just can't. So that's like, oh, damn, dude, you're kind of screwed no matter which way you're singing, because some people see it as, well, I've lost my other half. There's literally no reason for me to live.
Watch that live.
And some people, well, they take that way out, but he literally cannot take that way out no matter how hard he tries.
And he tries to have that first and only chooses the second option when he realizes there's no way I can do this. And I also want to say, I mean, and this is getting ahead a little bit, but
sure,
this scenes with Vanessa here are what make, basically they are what justify his attitude towards Vanessa in the third film and why he works as hard as he does to solve the problem for her, meaning save her universe. And because going back to the whole creative control, Blake Lively, and treating people like shit, he pulled a stunt. Somebody pulled a stunt on her. I don't know whether it was him or Blake. That she essentially was snubbed at the premiere, and the only pictures that were recorded for posterity in Getty Images were the ones with her and the full cast. Or only the ones with her alone with her husband, whatever it was. It was definitely different treatment for her. And Blake had that done with the director of her movie, where his family had to go to the basement of the theater to watch the premiere. They weren't allowed in the main theater. And then they did the same crap with the photographs that they did with well, they started the crap with the photographs that they also did with Morena. So it saves the movie at the expense of Morena Baccarin having the role as an actress to have more screen time in the third movie.
I wish she did have more screen time in this movie. If that meant to have not killed her character, I would have preferred that then, because I feel like she really owns the Vanessa role almost the same way that Ryan Reynolds owns the Deadpool role. And I have more reasons for that, but I'm going to save those reasons because, well, Mark has his photo paused for a reason, and it's something noteworthy of discussion because they went to the set of Dark Phoenix to have this scene shot for this movie, since Dark Phoenix was being made near the same time, even though Dark Phoenix got some great theatrical pushback by a year after Deadpool 2. I think, it got pushed back a whole year. Yeah, but luckily they're filming near the same time, so they were able to actually pull out the scene and for once show they're there. They're just all in one room and they're trying to avoid Deadpool. I thought that was awesome.
This is hysterical. That's why I paused it. And you got the full cast there. You're looking at it like, oh, is this stand-ins? It's like, no, it's the cast. Yeah, so that was more greatness in this movie. I think there's a lot of really good stuff in this flick that I really enjoyed. I know people don't like the kid, but I don't think you're supposed to like the kid, because that makes it so much tougher for him to save the kid, right?
I think you're not supposed to like him too, and I agree with that. I just feel like the way he was acting, even with that, still wasn't helpful, because you could have a character who's a pain in the ass, but you can say, okay, this character is a pain in the ass, but somewhere in there, their heart's in the right place. Nothing about that kid to me felt like his heart was in the right place. He felt like a true, genuine villain, which is ironic coming from me. I know this is gonna be a rich comic come from me. If you're gonna be I've always said if you're gonna be a villain, go all the way with it. And it felt like he was 100% a villain, which I'm fine with. But it felt like they were trying to give him this sympathetic edge. But yet he was acting like a full-on villain. I'm thinking, okay, well, if you want to have him be a villain, okay, have him be a villain, but don't give him this sympathetic edge, because everything he's doing. I get it. He's a teenager. He's wildly erratic and irrational, but you got to decide where's that balance, because it feels like there's a lack of balance of making me care for the kid.
Well, I think what my take on it is, yes, he's supposed to be unlikable and a villain, and it's that moment of Deadpool saving his life in the end that changes his character forever. So it doesn't bother me that the kid's an a-hole. Plus, isn't he supposed to be from Australia, which is entirely populated by criminals? But
that I wouldn't know. I would not have the answer for you. Vince has a question. Do you think in the future they're going to have flashbacks to this where he meets Leda? I mean, it all depends on what Ryan Reynolds does with Deadpool in the future. Who knows? I mean, is it possible? Sure. Will I bank on it? No, but it's something that I wouldn't put it past him to do. It really is not something, because he definitely digs for those, let's just say, type of things. Now, keep in mind, we're going to get into some height issues, which I think is great. So it's funny how in Deadpool 2, we casted Cable. Cable in the books is 6'8" or 9", like almost
He's
like
massive,
Diesel
yeah.
from WWE, WWF, whatever you want to call it. He's like basically Kevin Nash's height, or Kane, or The Undertaker. He's a big man. And for this movie, we casted a much smaller guy in the form of Josh Brolin. As you saw, he arrived in the present time where Deadpool's at. So it's funny how one character was too short for the role, and in the movie that comes after, your character was too tall for the role. Funny how that happened. Now, this is where I start to get put off.
X-person.
And it's at first, I actually laughed at that. In the theater, I did laugh at it. I thought that was funny. But then it gets utilized at least 2 more times later. And I was starting to think, oh, there's a pattern here. And then especially when you had that lady who was at Marvel Studios. God, what's it? Oh, I think it was Victoria Alonso.
Yeah.
And they were saying, oh, we got to call this movie The Mutants. And they wouldn't even say the X-Men at the time, which they're saying it now. But at the time, they kept saying the mutants, the mutants, the mutants. And it was clear that they wanted to go in that direction. And I knew I wasn't the talks of the merger being in discussion at this point, I think. What
it
year?
was, yeah.
Okay, so it was at least in discussion at this point. That to me was just all setting up for, oh, I don't like this. Also, too, what's on top of it really bad for me here, on top of the X-person stuff in retrospect, there was a portrait of a douchitarian fucknut named Karl Marx on their wall. And I'm thinking, what the fuck is that loser doing on your wall?
Yeah.
Ugh.
Well, but of course they make up a little bit with this book called The Canadian Mounted here. If you can't read the title, I was just doing a little light reading. It's a kind of a sexy girl on the cover. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I love the relationship with Colossus and
Deadpool
is awesome. Yeah.
I like their relationship here. I feel like their relationship in this movie is just as good. I feel like that carried over, thankfully, from the first movie into the second movie. So I was like, okay, that is there. Okay, awesome, cool. I'm with that. And I like the idea of entertaining Deadpool to join a team that he doesn't fit in, because it's very Colossus-like for him to try to convince him. And he won't, he can try to think he can change Deadpool all he wants, but no matter how much he could think he's going to change him, he is who he is at the end of the day. And, well, it just isn't going to happen, man. Just,
it is. I just want to say, and I know this is coming a little late, but,
sure.
But when he describes Cable as really short, 5'11",
yeah.
and I'm like, and my first reaction was, God damn it, I'm 5'11", and I'm not really short. So
and clearly that was a reference to him being 6'8" in the comics.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
But it was the very short. It was different from, a lot shorter, like 5'11". That would have been, I wouldn't have taken it the same way. I would have taken it differently. But saying he's really short, 5'11", I'm like, fuck you.
So
what character wears that shirt? What's the X-Men character that's the short little kind of like the kind of wears that symbol on his shirt? I'm trying to remember that.
Talking about Fire Fist?
No, Deadpool. The yellow trainee shirt. Wasn't there a character that wore that shirt in the comics? Kind of something like that.
I don't know. I feel like that design looks familiar, but
doesn't look familiar. Yeah, I'm trying to
I
remember.
couldn't tell you who what that is.
It's hysterical with the trainee on the back, X-Men trainee,
Yeah.
and he just takes over. He takes over everything here. So
And that was a
that's just
joke that I felt got a bit beaten to death. I thought it was funny the first time, but when they kept mentioning it, that was one of the jokes that did not land with me because I felt like the repetition of
trainee.
it.
Yeah.
The training thing. I was like, okay, guys, it was funny the first time, but it's starting to get annoying. And to me, Deadpool 2, like a lot of the jokes, that one included, is what happens when you get too much of a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hero
this
Flakes
is-
here.
this is-
This is
Ron
great.
Reynolds.
It's signed by Ryan Reynolds. No, that was awesome. I love
Yeah.
the box.
Yeah. This.
Oh yeah.
The first director, and I mentioned this when we talked about the movie, spent an entire day filming the holiday sex scenes. Then decided, and Moreno in her interview said, "Oh, thank God he did." He decided that they were trying to milk the joke too much. It
I'm glad
wasn't
she
meant to be a
agrees.
it wasn't meant to be a sex scene. It was meant to be a joke. It
Mhm.
was meant to be funny.
Jared
And
Kushner. That name's relevant.
there are a number of jokes in this movie that are beaten to death. This is one of them.
Yeah, that's one of my issues. That for me, a lot of the jokes that land do land very well, but then there's ones of the repetition nature. So you have that joke and then the X person people joke, and both of those, I'm like, okay, stop. This is not helping your case, especially now. Once again, looking back in retrospect, when they were trying to change the name, granted, it wasn't the MCU yet. But you look back at it and think, wow, okay, I can see why both companies were in on the idea of wanting a different name. It's clear they didn't want. Hell, look no further proof than when they were trying to take out the X-Men name in the X-Men Dark Phoenix movie that got theatrically released, just called Dark Phoenix. They thought it would be taken more seriously as a regular movie and not a comic movie, so just called Dark Phoenix. And the movie did not do well, not even opening weekend. Not one of those where it opened good and then the second weekend it tanked. No, it was not doing good opening weekend, period. And then the second weekend was bad too. So it was just like, wow, you guys really shot yourselves in the foot with this one doing that. Maybe they thought they could like stray away from that. And well, guys, the more you try to stray away, eventually that shit doesn't resonate. And I remember some people didn't even know a new X-Men movie was coming out at that point. Granted, some people were already kind of put off by Apocalypse. I wasn't as harsh towards that movie as others were. I don't think it's great by any means of the imagination, but I felt like it was a fine movie. It got by, but I definitely had my issues with it. That's for sure. Like Oscar Isaac should have never been Apocalypse, but
that was ridiculous.
it was not a polarizingly bad movie. Now these are jokes I love here, like the Hawkeye joke, and now as Cable arrives and like the jail turns into chaos. One of the guys, like Deadpool responds, "Man, that was dark. Are you sure you're not from the DC universe?" That shit was great, dude.
Yes.
I love, especially this is at that point when they were making a bunch of shitty Zack Snyder movies. That made me so happy to see that because if you're here at this chat, you probably very well know my opinions on Zack Snyder movies. So for me, that joke lived in my head rent free for about a whole month, and I was very proud of that. You'll be the toughest cunt in there. Oh God, yeah, Wade Wilson. Yeah,
cultural appropriation.
Now this is the dialogue that lands for me. I like these parts here, and I like where this fight leads to the introduction of a Deadpool and Cable meeting, them fighting. Deadpool doesn't have his powers, then he does. I thought, okay, this stuff here. This is good, even though there's some jokes up to this point that are not landing as well. At least there are jokes that are. So it's kind of like balancing. Take a seat, shit dick.
I think
this is the part of the story that I like here is the "we're not friends" kid. I thought could have been better because I thought, okay, we want to build some of these characters, but right now they don't like each other, and that's obviously a trope as old as time. I'm fine with that trope. I think that's a great idea, and they could have done something with that here that I feel like came up a little short at the end. But take it away, Richard. It sounds like you're ready for some.
Yeah, the difference I think between the comments to uh about X people and all of that versus these lines like what's your superpower? Cultural appropriation is that Deadpool's back to being ironic here. And so the joke lands better because you don't take him seriously.
Hmm.
You know he's needling the guy with something the guy doesn't want to have. That he's describing it in a way the other character doesn't want to hear,
Hmm.
and he doesn't believe it. So it's all just bullshitting. Whereas the other one, you actually feel like he's trying to suck up a little bit, and that doesn't work for me. So
Yeah.
that to me is the difference between the ones that land and the ones that don't.
I agree. I strongly agree on that. But yeah, it's a cool fight here. I like they intro the way
Yeah.
they had these two meet. This to me at this point made sense because these characters, both very highly powered. They're both very big names of creations from the X-Men of the '90s, and people have been wanting Cable in movies for years. And
Yeah.
I remember when I was a kid becoming a teenager. Cable is one of those names even some normies at the time knew who he was because how big of a deal he was on the X-Men cartoon,
Yeah, in the
even in
cartoon,
comic books.
toys.
I remember a handful of my friends being happy that they owned the first issue of Cable, even though it's not really worth anything now. It was a cool thing to say, hey, I got the first issue of Cable. I own it too. Yay. But it's one of those things where it's like, hey, we got this Cable con and it's a cool character. And I get why he resonated. It was one of those characters where he was the right character at the right place at the right time. He obviously also had one of the right creators involved because this movie is loaded with Liefeld's creations for sure. So you get double debuts. We'll get into the other debut later. Yeah, we'll get into some of those other debuts later. But Cable's a big deal, and I remember hearing there was a few names that Liefeld's campaign for. I remember John Hamm was one that he campaigned for. Actually, would like to have seen John Hamm. That definitely would not have been something I'd be opposed to. I had heard apparently Russell Crowe was a name that was being thrown around. Now, I don't know if these guys actually auditioned for the part. I just know these are names that were being thrown around, if not outright being mentioned by Liefeld. Hey, I'd like to see if so-and-so do it. I know names are being considered. I know Pierce Brosnan actually is considered, which I'm actually kind of glad that didn't happen. David Harbour is considered. I'm glad that didn't happen. I would have actually liked Dolph Lundgren. You that's funny. I swear I did not know you were going to put this picture
We speak each other's unspoken thoughts. Yeah. How was that for maybe you could take the overlay down maybe.
Yeah, I'll
Sorry,
this is the rare part where I'll have a soft off instead of a hard on. I'll have a soft off. Dude, I would have loved to have seen Dolph Lundgren. I mean, guys, we all know the man, the legend. He's not a myth. We just say the man, the legend. Dolph Lundgren is a celebrated man around these parts. He doesn't get his due, but around these parts, he absolutely does.
You have the biggest dick I've ever seen on a man.
That time, I heard you coming.
So he is big enough for the role, right?
Oh yeah, he's big enough, all right. He does not have a small dick.
In more ways than one, he was absolutely big enough for the role. And dude, he would have been huge for the height. He would have been huge for the height.
Yeah.
That's for sure. No worrying about reaching around for him because Dolph Lundgren would have been it. He didn't have to worry about his reach. That's for sure.
Yeah. There's a wonderful Mark skipped the scene. It is a very quick scene. I believe it's Cable's arrival.
Yes.
It's Cable's arrival by his time machine before he makes it to the prison. And his first encounter is with two rednecks drinking beer behind a truck at the tailgate. And one of the guys is famous actor for playing the alien in a television show, Alan Tudyk. And the other one is credited as Dickie Greenleaf.
What a name. Dickie Greenleaf.
Yeah, that's the credit in the film, and it turns out IMDb spills the beans and tells you that redneck number 2 is Matt Damon.
Yeah. Oh, there's a great comment on Rumble with Psychomagus saying Dolph Punisher should have been Deadpool Wolverine as well as all the other Punishers. Dude, they should have had a Dolph Lundgren Punisher. We'll get to that next week, but it's just one of those things, especially like since Dolph Lundgren's Punisher was the only one who was ever naked in a movie or show. It was the Lundgren Punisher that was not afraid to bear it all for the camera to see. If it by that admission, he's the most stunning and brave Punisher ever, and it ain't even close.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he's the best movie because that's the one thing I don't agree on. But as far as stunning and brave, oh yeah, Dolph Lundgren, man, because it's all about what he has, and Brandon Lee acknowledged it very profusely. Anyways, enough about Showdown, Little Tokyo, and the Lundgren of what could have been with Kale. Sorry, I'm just kind of dreaming a bit too much about this, and I need to stop.
I would say eloquently.
Oh, damn. In Human Centipede, it was, oh, God, yeah, the Human Centipede. See, that was great. When they signed on to be in that movie about, like, low points, he's like, yeah, that was great. That was excellent. I like that shit. That was hilarious.
Yes,
That's a shit that I'm like, okay, more of this, please. Throwback, but not Vinny's Juggernaut, huh? Oh, dude, I'm actually one of the few people who acknowledges how bad Vinny Jones' Juggernaut was, but did I like it? Admittedly, because it was funny because of how retarded it was. I'll admit I did take pleasure in his Juggernaut because of how bad it was. I will not forget. On the Juggernaut, bitch.
Yes. Yes.
It's the most un-Juggernaut thing to say. But was it funny because of how retarded that movie was? Yeah. Trust me, it's way out of character. He would say that. So, yeah, that is horrifically inaccurate. But, boy, I definitely will laugh my ass off at that shit from now until forever. And you know what? At least that movie had what we say a lot of current movies lack, was a memorable quote.
Yep.
It stuck with people. Whether people liked or hated the movie was irrelevant. A lot of people were saying, I'm the Juggernaut, bitch, after that movie.
It's like the Juggernaut doesn't need to say anything. He's so fucking big. He's unstoppable, right?
Okay,
but yeah,
this I love here, the build up to him, because I didn't know he was talking to him in that jail cell. And it makes sense looking back. Like, I'm like, oh, okay, he's a big character. Like, I wonder who he's talking to. It must be some beastly creature or something. Well, I guess you could say to a point that Juggernaut is a beastly creature of sorts. But it was just cool to me. And I like how they got the Skarsgård kid for the audition part, along with Terry Crews. And for the Vanisher, apparently it's supposed to be Brad Pitt, apparently.
Oh, it is. Yeah, you'll see it. You'll see it. I captured it. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, you captured it? Okay. I need to actually see it because I'm
it is Brad Pitt, and he only appears for about 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Okay.
1 or 2 seconds.
That. Wow, that's crazy.
These lines are so great here too. It's just like,
and who is it? I just forgot his last name. The guy's just so basically, what is it? Dave Matthews.
Dave Matthews.
Dave Matthews. Yeah.
I can make you feel confused, depressed, make you give you pain. He's like, so basically, you're Dave Matthews. I'm like, oh man.
and then this guy's like, my name's Rusty. We're going Shatterstar, but Rusty is actually Firefist's name in the comic.
Yeah.
And then where you from? Mojo Word. If you ever read
that.
The comics.
The acknowledgement of the Mojo World.
Insane. Yeah.
Oh god, dude.
I'm basically better than you at everything. And Gabe and Deadpool's like, I'm gonna go to a place that's all full of underachievers. I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna be their Superman.
and isn't that basically like, Canada?
Canada. Out.
You shut your goddamn trash mouth. Oh, that was great.
Yes.
Oh man, so good.
The Canada jokes are always awesome.
Oh god, yeah. No, really Domino's. I'm really conflicted on Domino's because I feel like the lady one. I hated that they have her keep her fro for this movie. I thought it looked awful. Granted, race swaps to me are dumb, but I can forgive it when the part still will act. And she was fine as far as acting goes, but they should have done something about the damn fro. Straighten your hair, lady. You have this part because the character exists, because of many fans liking this character. Straighten your fucking hair for the character. Come on. That was absolutely like, no, I did like the whole, like, I'm lucky. And it sounds retarded until you actually see it play out. And
Yes.
I will say they at least got that aspect of it right. So I'll forgive a little bit, but lady, straighten your hair.
She's good in the role, but I'm sure. Well, they probably told her not to straighten it. They probably wanted to.
No, they kept. I think I think it wasn't her fault. They kept it that way. But actors, actresses should, when they see these things, they should realize, hey, I have this role because somewhere out there fans like this character. I should try to have some self-respect to try to get this character right for those fans. Hell, Gina Carano tried to do Angel Dust, and when her ideas got shut down, it's like, okay, well, at least we know it doesn't fall on Gina because she tried. She tried.
Did they race swap Domino back?
Didn't even try.
Yeah.
Did they race swap her in the comics again, or no? They kept her.
No, they kept Domino that way. They kept her where
they didn't Nick Fury her.
No, I think Nick Fury's the only character where they actually stuck where they race us all. The only one where they took the race swap and actually stuck with it. But to be fair, that was done in the comics before the movies too. Because
yeah. Well, it's actually his son.
The Ultimate Universe. That was the litmus test for that. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh God, Buddy Smith.
No, to give you an idea. No, Nick.
Go on.
Nick, give you an idea of how important it can be to follow the look and of the character as well as the character, the behavior. The guy who was one of the actors in Band of Brothers,
mm-hmm.
and I'm going to forget names, so I'm just going to say he played a wisecracking, sardonic South Philly guy, became a sergeant, and he had an underbite. His lower lip stuck out.
Oh.
And it was gonorrhea is who it was. It was that was his nickname.
Mm-hmm.
And the actor who played him went in and did his first reading, and he did it straight. He just read for the part.
Mm-hmm.
And he said in an interview, for my second audition, I did something I never do, that actors never do. I changed my character. He says, I practiced over the weekend and I figured out how to do a convincing underbite and still be able to deliver lines, to do it properly. So, and I went in and I hit him with the underbite, delivering the lines.
Mm-hmm.
He got the part, but that's the exception that proves the rule. Because he really didn't think that was a good idea, because that's what actors never do.
Yeah, so he was very happy to get gonorrhea then.
He was very happy to get the part and get gonorrhea, yes. But it just gives you an idea. Once an actor decides this is how I want to play it, they don't want to change it. And that it is important that they get details right. Accents.
Agreed.
Accents. Oh my God.
This was great here. All his members of his derivative version of an X-Force all dying on him. This I love. They all die horrific deaths, and Peter was the only one who wasn't supposed to, and because he walks into his own death, he's the only one who actually had a proper landing, which is ironic because he was the human of the group. And you would think he'd be the first one to die. He ends up, lasting until he doesn't. And dude, this was great. Seeing everyone but Domino make it. I was like, oh, yeah,
because she's lucky.
Yeah, because she's lucky. Exactly. So that to her credit, that part made sense. I'm glad they got that part right, but man, they could have definitely done better for.
There it is.
Wow. Hold up. Go back.
Yeah, there we go. I got it.
Noticed that in theaters ever.
Yes, it's really
quick. Mark, well done, dude. That is amazing. You got that shot. I can't believe it. My few viewings of this, this is the theatrical cut we see it, right? Not just
Yeah.
the super duper.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure this is in the
it's in the
theatrical
theatrical.
cut.
Yeah, they probably just superimposed his head on whoever was.
Oh God, yeah,
obviously,
totally.
yeah.
Well, it was cool
But-
that they got him, Terry Crews, the Skarsgård kid. Yeah, it was cool that they got them all together for, I guess you could say, a cameo festival. It had them all die in brutal ways.
And then it chose a derivative name like X-Force. I love they're making fun of X-Force.
I like them making fun of the name.
It's awesome,
that part of it I like. I just didn't like the whole, well, there's a lot of women on the team. That was the part that was like off-putting because this is the second time that's getting mentioned in the movie. I actually like that the women push back on this, saying we're not seeing it from that angle. We're just looking at it as its derivative. And that to me was funny. And also like, yeah, that's actually a good point too. Why was Deadpool approaching it from the men-women angle when we're just looking at it as, say, X-Men, X-Force? We're just basically a copycat. I like that perspective better. So I like I can't remember which girl mentioned the derivative. I think, to be fair, I think it was actually Domino who mentioned that. That to me, I can resonate with the derivative nature, even though that X-Force comic in the 90s did sell gangbusters. That's a fact. I never read it because I was not a X-Men type of guy as far as the comics, but I am aware like that comic was red hot. Like that was like a
huge,
big thing back in the day was those comics. Even though I remember them existing as a kid, I remember like a lot of kids were reading those comic books. So I will say, to be fair, it was a name that sold comics. So maybe it was derivative. That's a topic we can debate on, for ages on.
I think it's a good name, but
it definitely had readers.
It's fun to make fun of the name, though. But it is, it's all the X, the X titles, and Uncanny. Then it became X-Men. But and actually, mentioning the number of women, that was one reason they felt like they could kill Vanessa off because, like, well, we have a lot of strong women in this movie. People are too politically freaking correct. It just drives me nuts. But
and yet, ironically, it was the woman who had the non-PC reason. Versus Deadpool, who had the PC reason. That's the irony. The woman had the better reason with her comment saying it's just a derivative. Usually, it would be the woman saying there's too many women on a team. We should be, and it would be the guy who should be. So that's why I gotta give credit to the Domino character for saying it's just a derivative. I was like, you would think it'd be the other way around of who's signing it, but no, Deadpool actually ends up looking a little bad in that part for mentioning it not once, but twice at this point. And I think he mentions it one or two more times there in this movie. It's like, dude, that's one of those beaten to death jokes. Okay, I get your point, but guess what word is in women? I'll give you a hint. It has 3 letters at the very end. MEN.
Not if you spell it the right way with a Y.
Yeah. Oh God, I heard that they were trying to make that one take off in the 80s.
Oh God, I remember T-shirts in college that had it spelled that way.
I got this paused here just for so we can move on. But do anyone catch the reference to a certain movie that we did on Toxic Tuesday?
Let me look here. Puppet Show, Orangina, Hillside, Amusement Park.
Well, it's a Spinal Tap reference. Puppet Show today at noon.
Why am I not remembering the
Spinal Tap Puppet Show and Spinal Tap? And then he said, "How many times I tell them?" Spinal Tap and Puppet Show.
Okay. Wow.
And it's Amusement Park, Hillside Amusement Park.
So it's a Spinal Tap. I remember now. No, I never noticed that this entire time. That's why we have
it's just a flash. It's just a flash, but it's just
well, like Brad Pitt. It's a great flash. Oh, now this is X-Force. Great when the Peter does the X-Force thing. And that's what I mean. Peter, of all the guys, it seemed like he was going to survive, and then he's in horror of what he sees, and you're thinking, oh boy, he's fucked, and then he goes to check on him, and he dies, and Skarsgård dies.
Skarsgård pukes
holy
acid
brutality.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
We're X-Force. Oh, and then he starts vomiting on his face profusely.
Melts his arm off.
Yes.
Oh man. Yeah, this shit was outstanding.
Oh my God, what the F? Acidic vomit, and he's got his arm.
Yeah. Well, look at it this way, gentlemen. You can now say you've been flashed by Brad Pitt.
Oh,
Did you catch the name of the company? Geppetto. Wood Waste and Recycling. Pinocchio.
Oh, wow. I've never noticed that. Okay, that's fucking great, I guess.
Yep.
There's a lot of good stuff in this. Yeah.
Yes.
Damn.
It flies by the first time. Yeah. And I love Domino's entrance here. And
Oh yeah, she does make a good entrance. I will
yeah,
give
she's
once
one
again, I'll
sexy
give
lady in
credit.
this movie too. So at least they have a cool costume for her in this. So
I know she was bitching about wearing the outfit though. So that's apparently she was pretty bitchy about wearing the outfit. She
she didn't
stuck it out, but I'm aware that
she didn't
she
like
was
to show
definitely
off.
a whiner. She was definitely a whiner about it, to my
Oh.
knowledge. I've looked to
Yeah.
see if there's any information out there to prove that it was misinformation, but so far there's nothing out there that I've seen to acknowledge otherwise. And what's up,
another
Walter?
hidden-
Things
Hey.
are okay, man. We're good. We're hanging out. We're talking about Deadpool 2. Happy you dropped in, homie.
Another
God, where
inside
was
joke
I? Oh,
here.
Domino.
Pryor's Treats, Madeline Pryor.
Yeah, man. I'm Pryor. Yeah, I like that. I would because of the Goblin Queen. That was cool.
Yeah.
So I do like that. So also I like that
Stan
when
Lee
we were
here.
talking about Deadpool complaining about Domino's powers. What the line was spouted off was about, well, no, the idea of an artist who can't even draw feet, which is obviously a nod to Rob Liefeld that even some normies are aware of, because Rob Liefeld got a lot of criticism, especially in the 90s, that he couldn't draw feet in his comics. And they mentioned that in this movie and in the third movie as well. And obviously Liefeld is in on the joke with them. So yeah, he lets him take shots at his thing a few times now. So I fear if he really hated it, it would have not happened.
Let's put it this way: if I could invent a character like Deadpool, I wouldn't give a shit whether I could draw feet.
Oh, I know, right?
No, seriously.
Yeah, there's the line there. Yeah. Probably a guy who can't draw feet.
There you go. All right, here. Probably a guy who can't draw feet. Yeah, that was perfect, especially since her character is a Rob Liefeld creation. So
yeah.
It's definitely more obviously impactful and meaningful for those who know. So no, I like that. So this movie, I will say, balance wise, as far as like normie jokes versus in jokes where you have to be in the know, whether it's on comics or the movies, it's got a good blend of the jokes as far as that. So there's enough there so if you're a normie, you'll catch that. If you don't know the other stuff, and for the more niche jokes, there's enough there, but not too much there, so it's not foreign for the average normie who's never seen these movies, who's like, okay, this is too many foreign jokes, I don't understand. Because at least if there's a good, healthy amount, a normie will think, okay, I may not understand this joke, but I can see where it's resonating for someone who's in the know. There's that know. Like, it's kind of like when Blade shows up in Blade. Sorry, not in Blade. In Deadpool Wolverine, I know people who had never seen the Blade movies, and yes, they are.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And they told me, okay, I knew that scene was impactful. Even though I had never seen the Blade movies, I could tell this is an important character. And that's sometimes the point. If a normie can still watch it, even if they don't know the history, they can understand the impact of where it's coming from. To me, that's a good sign, because that means that it is normie friendly and you could still get some sort of resonation of it, even if it's not the same resonation as someone who's seriously in on it versus the average Joe who's not.
Yeah, I mean, some of them are obvious, meaning it's an obvious joke. It's stuck right there. Some of them are very quick.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the ones that are very quick are in jokes, that you need to know in order to get it. Probably the one exception being Brad Pitt appearing on screen for 2 seconds at most. But what's cool is, to me, and I've argued this for Deadpool 3, I like the fact in the humor that if I don't know all of the inside references, and I know some of them, but I'll be damned if I know all of them, that it's still a fun movie to watch. You still get enough laughs that it makes you want to go back and find more of them, look them up, and see how many others there are. They're like Easter eggs. and some of them are harder to find than others. So, they play it well. I think it actually works very well for a wider audience in that the normies get jokes they get, and the insiders and the comic book fanatics and the people who've seen every single MCU movie are getting other jokes. It works still because it's not like, oh, I went to the movie and it was kind of funny. It made me laugh like 3 times. There's more laughs than that, even if you don't know anything about the
Great
character of the
line here.
comics. Yep.
You killed Black Tom, you racist son of a bitch. That was fucking hilarious. You killed Black Tom.
That was a joke that was a joke with the idea that Cable is racist could have gone on too long because just like the X people joke. But what saves those jokes is Cable's reaction. Oh shit, not again.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, it was a great quick line. It doesn't go on about anything a lot of the way. There's another. I remember the third joke here that doesn't land, and this is the one that didn't even land to me from the beginning. It's the Frozen joke about that song. That to me didn't land. Period. Whereas the other two jokes I complained about that were repetitive. I was like, okay, they can be funny at first, but now you're repetitive. I understood that Frozen reference. I understood it. I had seen the movie at that point. I just didn't find it funny, period. I just thought it was absolutely stupid. It's the one joke to me that was stupid from the beginning, whereas the others were better in moderation. That one was a never should have been, period.
Well, it's just when you see, like, if you know that movie, I don't think it land. I agree it doesn't land, but if you know that movie and Streisand and everything that's going around that, it is kind of a dud of a joke, though. I'll agree, but just to see her sing that, and I guess I've got to listen to the 2 songs back to back, put myself through that, and see which is better. Yeah,
I've heard them both. It's just, to me, it's one of those jokes. It's a rare joke that it was just never meant to be for me.
Yeah.
Now this is great where his crotch gets in Cable's face. Now this is this is art right here. Hold on, I'm gonna bring the overlay down for that.
Go back. Yeah,
now that's cinema. That's peak cinema right there.
And he's like, he's not gonna enjoy it much.
Toxic Tuesday 4. See, this is the shot we should save. This should be a new.
I could put
that's an idea.
On
future
that.
Overlay. Like, while the show's waiting to start, we can have this dude. Oh my god! Oh, you just gave me an idea. Hey, send this photo to me later, please. Send this photo. Oh, dude, we could do so. We could make that Mads face. We could make that like your face, my face. Oh, dude, we could have so much fun with this photo here. Yeah, and this is the 2 straight movies where his crotch gets in somebody's face. I think because it was just one of the random thugs in the first movie. Except I don't think it was as close to being on contact, so I guess with this kind of as a teabag, funny Mecha Jinx teabag attack.
Yep. And by the way, let me point out, I don't know if you caught. I don't know if you. This is kind of a reference joke. What's the soundtrack when after Juggernaut punches through the floor into the bridge and all of this mayhem starts? It goes to slow motion and a song comes. Do you know what the song is and who made it?
Oh, I don't know.
It's "Who Can Say Where the Road Goes" by Enya.
Nick is back.
Hold up. I've never left.
That was weird. It's been doing that.
It just said you joined.
Oh, I joined. I never left either.
All right, let me get my. Oh, you got the screen.
There we
Thank
go.
you, Russell. You're okay. Okay. I love Juggernaut in this movie, even though I have said that he's wildly entertaining, but absolutely done terribly and horribly retarded. No, I love the way his character was handled, like the reveal of it. He's actually huge, unlike in the third X-Men movie titled The Last Stand. He was just a guy who was a little bit tall, and they put a suit on him. This movie, he's a big, monstrous dude. And I liked how he had fewer lines to say. And they also gave him his own soundtrack song for this movie, which is based off a line that was actually used in comics with Nothing Can Stop, the Juggernaut. And the song for it is
Yeah.
hilarious. Holy shit balls. Dude, outstanding shit. So I love the Juggernaut. I love that he has fewer lines. I like how he's actually a big guy and he's full of destruction and badassery. Now, funny thing about that scene, when Tim Miller was originally still going to do the sequel before he dropped on this, he was actually going to have him face Michael Chiklis' The Thing in this movie.
Yeah, we didn't get that.
I
Was it going to be
actually
Chiklis, or was it going to be
it was going to be
CGI
Michael
guy?
Chiklis' Ben Grimm. It was going to be Michael Chiklis' Ben Grimm. Maybe he would have CGI'd him, and probably kept Michael Chiklis as a voice actor.
Yeah, the voice.
But I know
right?
he wanted Chiklis involved for Ben Grimm. I would have been fine with that.
That would have been awesome. You know, what a
it's
Thing
like,
fan I am. Yeah.
Yeah, with being a Thing fan like you, I would love that because Thing one, he makes sense as far as a fight with the Juggernaut. That's another character like Colossus that would have made sense to have gone along with it. And if if they got Juggernaut right in this movie, they probably would have got the size right of the Thing as well. So that would have actually like say, oh, hey, cool, awesome. I wish we would have gotten that. Now we'll always wonder what could have been had that happened. But man,
and they were also going to have Vanessa be copycat in the movie
thank you.
too.
I was meaning to mention that earlier. I've forgotten. That was something Tim Miller wanted to. He was going to have Vanessa not just die, and he was going to have her become copycat. I wanted that because I remember being excited
and turn blue,
assuming going into second movie that we were going to have her become copycat. Obviously, it doesn't happen. And her role is dramatically reduced. But it's a rare time where I want the lady to have more of a role in the movie. She's just one of those characters. It fucking works.
Yes.
You could have had her like really hurt really badly or something. That's why he goes
just
for
have
his
her
revenge.
in the hospital really badly. Just have
like
her be
she's
in the
a
hospital
coma
or
for a little bit.
So
and
one
then
of those
she comes
things.
back. Yeah. So.
I would love for
if
her
it
to
had to
become copycat.
If they had put the Thing in this movie.
Oh, that's a great line. Why is your hand so tiny? That's not my hand.
Yeah.
First movie it feels big, right? Doesn't it? And then this movie, you're straight shirt cocking head. And he compares it to Winnie the Pooh. I thought that was fucking amazing.
Oh yeah.
It's like he was giving birth anally, but they quit halfway through. You know what? I'm done.
So we went from avocados to anal in 2 movies.
Yeah. The Muppet stick. Oh God. Oh no, DP, not again.
I gotta take my hearing too.
Oh shit.
Oh yeah, Domino finally sees what Deadpool's like without the mask, and she's absolutely horrified. Dude, I remember I was horrified when I first saw this. I was like, "Wow, ugh, put that mask back on." Like this is horrific. So I know that for this movie, and I don't know if it was done in the third movie. I don't even know if it was done in the first movie. But I know for this movie, a lot of these scenes, Ryan Reynolds shot with the mask on and off, so they can make sure that they capture the expressions of the mask, compared to what his regular face does, which I actually think is really cool. Once again, and that's where I'm going to credit Ryan Reynolds to how committed he was to the role, where he's willing to shoot as many scenes as possible twice with and without the mask, so they can see which emotions to capture for the expressions of his mask. Because
they're moving the mask all the time around, which is great. I think. Yeah,
I'm glad that he keeps the mask on, and he makes sure to get the expressions. It shows you can have a character wear a mask the majority of the movie and still be expressive. Sometimes even if the mask doesn't have expressive eyes, they can make the expression big in the posture of a character. Darth Vader, anyone? And I like where they mentioned the acknowledgement of the lazy writing, because he's not wrong. Actually, he's not.
Yeah,
lazy
writing.
It kind of is lazy
it's so
writing.
Awesome. Yeah.
So at least I don't feel like they were even being cheeky with it. I actually feel like they were kind of acknowledged. Oh, we kind of fucked ourselves in a corner with all this.
With the time travel, so overdone. Of course,
always fucks shit up.
But Cable is a time traveler. Spoiler alert: he's the son of Jean Grey and no, I was gonna say Colossus.
Cyclops. Scott Summers.
yeah. Scott
My
Summers.
favorite X-Man character.
And you didn't find that
Cyclops.
out. When did you find that out? Cable's origin? Well, it's much later, right? I've
In the movie
been years.
or in period?
No, in the comics. In the comics, it's much later.
God.
That because you don't. Well, that's the cool reveal is that you don't know that Cable is who Cable is.
Mhm.
That's what's great. I'm trying to remember what it. I think it was in the 250. I've read all the issues. I forget when, but it's much later. So that's when it becomes like that awesome reveal too. In the comics, but I guess X-Men 90 and X-Men was he in X-Men 97 Cable?
Yes, he was.
Yeah.
Yes, he
I
was.
think they do know they do say it's his son in X-Men 97. Yeah.
Yes, they do. They
Yeah.
acknowledge it,
Yeah,
and I like how he inherits an outfit that's like his dad's because his
Yeah.
dad goes back to his original outfit from the before times, which that made me light up like a kid. I was like, okay, that's freaking cool that we're getting the earlier suits and not the 90s outfit. That made me so happy because even though I've never been much of an X-Men guy, I've always loved Cyclops, and to see Cyclops and to me in what
the
is
older
his
uniform,
proper uniform, not the 90s one,
not the Jim Lee one.
Hey, I respect Jim Lee, but the outfit pre Jim Lee, in my opinion, I just find it to be dramatically better. I'm just one of those guys. I said it and I said it and I meant it. Once again, in college visits, I'm not fucking racist, boy. Oh, man.
I'm with the old white guy in this one.
Oh, yeah. See, that's what I mean. Domino's lines are oddly some of the more logical lines in this movie. Like, I gotta give that respect to her character-wise. At least her dialogue makes up for, Zazzy or Zazie, whatever her name is, being a whiner. At least, like, her character definitely had some great dialogue that I'm like, okay. Now, that line I like, too. You're just a big old sex toy dressed like a clown or whatever. Oh, annoying clown. Sorry. Annoying clown dressed up as a sex toy.
Sex toy, yeah.
Because, I can kind of see it now when he mentioned that. I can kind of see it, man.
Right.
Oh, man. Too good. Too friggin' good. I'm a grower, not a shower. Now, that was fun. That was a great response. I'm a grower, not a shower. I was like, wow, that's actually a damn good comeback. Oh, fuck. Who would have thought? And then him begging for Colossus, dude. This was actually like, okay, this is actually, I love how he plays the music. And if you look at the cab, it actually says Alpha Flight on the cab, which I thought was a great comic. Oh, hold on. You actually caught a comic reference that I didn't?
Yeah.
You got the other ones that I missed.
You got that one. I didn't catch Alpha Flight. Yeah.
Yeah, it's on that thing up above the car. If you catch it, I don't know.
Oh, it's above. Oh, I missed it.
Right. Oh, yeah,
there.
It's too blurry. But
too blurry. But that's Alpha Flight.
Where the white is, it says Alpha Flight. I'm like,
and what movie is
Alpha
this?
Flight.
What movie is this referencing?
Alpha Flight, the team.
No. No, with the radio like this. This is Say Anything. With the Peter Gabriel song, say when he's just got it on the phone. But you remember the end to Say Anything when he comes back? He's playing In Your Eyes by Peter Gabriel. John Cusack.
It's not come to my mind, probably because of reasons. I'll put in the private, but dude, fuck.
So that's an iconic freaking. Well, here this is the image. Yeah, but that's freaking iconic. Image from Say Anything, our buddy John Cusack. Yep. So holding the radio up in the end to say anything. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. See, okay. Now I remember this. Yeah. No, great nod to Say Anything. Okay, yeah. It's all coming back now to me. Wow. See, I didn't see that movie, but I remember seeing that shot and seeing clips of it. It was one of those things where even if you didn't see the movie, you knew about that part. So I remember hearing about that part and then finding later, it's based off of this thing. Okay. Yeah, I've heard that saying. So yeah, definitely a once upon a time where even if you didn't see the movie, you kind of knew it because a lot of people talked about it type of thing.
Yeah, that was in popular culture. Yeah. So
oh God. I I love how like Domino recognizes this isn't just like a friendship. This is particularly like a bromance between these guys.
Chateau Virgin. Yeah.
Oh man. Oh, too good. Yeah, but he's in a wheelchair. Oh, no, this guy was a fuckhead, dude. I mean, the kid. Don't get me
Yeah.
wrong, the kid's a fuckhead too. But man, that dude, fuck.
Well, it's
Ooh.
over the top. I mean, it's totally over the top. With the analogies there of gay versus straight, and and the pray away the gay stuff. It's a little bit overhanded, but even Deadpool mentions that the outdated X-Men, the outdated
trope
template
about
for
racism,
racism.
which
Yeah,
that was a great counterbalance to all the jokes he was saying earlier about X-Men, X people. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, yeah, I agree with that. It's just like, guys, how many times we need to go over this type of deal? I thought that was great. I agree with you on that. Okay, we got the Dead Man
Super
here,
chat.
79. Says, I like DP2 better than Deadpool Wolverine. It was a more coherent story, and I hated the multiple Deadpools. Okay, well, I'll put up my rankings next week when we get to the movies. But hey, that's cool to see that you feel that way. I respect your opinion on that, sir. Thank you for the $4.99, and thank you for being here, chiming in on your thoughts, and for being a part of the show and, well, contributing to it as well. So appreciate you, Dead Man. Hey, big guy, sun's getting real low. Yeah. What's up, Comic Relief? I see you there too. Great to see you, buddy. No, I like that when Colossus shows up too. Oh, big CGI fight. I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah,
They just say it, right?
Oh, dude. No, talk about no, that was probably one of the best self-awareness jokes ever, because we're at the point too where that type of shit was peaking, where everything was a big CG fight, and they were just admitting it outright. Yep, big CG fight. Here we go. I thought that was awesome. How that was just said outright with no sugarcoating, no trying to put kid gloves on it. That was great. I like that. I was obviously all in, and then here goes Colossus. This is great. Where he carries him.
Yeah, he carried him. The bromance.
This was some Rocky 3 greatness here. These are some of the parts once again that I love of it. I wish we actually had slightly a bit more Colossus, because you know how him and Vanessa, he did the finger in the hole. But for him and Colossus, it's the scissor.
Crossing the tips. Then they're crossed, and then he touches tips there. Tips of
yes.
his finger. Yeah.
Oh, so two movies he gets to do that. I thought that was amazing.
Yeah,
and this is the first time we see Colossus pull out a Deadpool.
Yep.
Yeah. By taking
that
stick out of him. He took his stick out of him.
Yep. Actually, it was a cast iron fence post.
Yeah.
With a barb on the end. Ow.
I know. Right?
Yeah, the barb pulls his brain out. Yeah, the other backtracking. The other thing is, why did they send the annoying kid Fire Fist to a prison with adults? Too, wasn't he like 14 or 15? That also
probably because it doesn't make sense, but no, I can.
They would have a prison just
that because
they would have a prison just for teenagers.
He was
no. It was for teenagers, because you saw the kids when Domino goes into the dorm room and fights the order.
No, I mean when he gets sent to the actual prison.
Oh,
backtracking. Yeah, like they would have had a prison for kids under 18. But like Nick said, forgive it. But that made zero sense to me. Or they should have had a way to like have Deadpool, save him from like a section of the prison. But they're not going to put an adult with a 15-year-old kid in the prison. But anyway,
speaking of that prison with the glass cells, the clear cells, did anybody else see a similarity between that prison set design and the No Way Out prison with Schwarzenegger and Stallone?
Oh God!
Where he's got to escape from the escape
plan.
Escape plan.
Yeah, escape plan. Oh, that's got one of my favorite Arnold lines in any movie ever. Because when you hit like a vegetarian line, which when you think about it, doesn't make any sense, but it's so funny because he got decked in the face by Stallone, and whether Stallone's a vegetarian or not is irrelevant because getting punched in the face by Sylvester Stallone is gonna suck no matter what.
Yes. Yeah. But I just thought it was interesting that the idea of the escape proof prisons was basically glass cells.
Yes.
That reminded me of the first X-Men movie too, at the end, right when Magneto's in that glass prison. I mean, different scene, but I mean that's the other thing it kind of reminded me of too. Yeah.
What's up, DZ? I saw a little here. About that. Yeah. For all my complaints I've said sporadically throughout the movie, there's still a lot to love about this movie. There really is, because one of my biggest issues is a lot of the jokes do not land as well due to the repetitious nature, and also the killing of Vanessa, which at the time I thought was a good idea. Up until as the movie goes on, you're thinking, oh man, they should have actually kept her alive in the movie rather than just completely, spoiler, undo her death, which to me, I felt like it would just been preferential because in a way, it's just like we just got through this whole movie. Now it technically never happened. Granted, I know that it was Cable's mission to undo his daughter and wife's death at the hands of this kid for becoming who he is. So I guess he was undoing the movie in a sense too. But since we didn't live with that the same way Cable did, I guess in my mind, I can forgive the Cable part because we're not doing that shit. That's in the damn future. We're not doing that. We're dealing with the present. So I don't know. I know it's kind of contradictory, but still, it kind of bugged me a little bit. Nothing that I'm like, nothing where it's like a deal breaker, but it's just like, you guys should have thought this time travel. I get bringing Cable back, but as we said earlier, maybe don't kill Vanessa, just injure her badly.
Well, the thing with Vanessa dying is it gives it stakes.
It did.
It really gives it stakes. And keep in mind, death is very much a theme for Deadpool.
Yes, death and family. Oddly.
Yeah, death and family are the two themes that played those two themes beautifully. The idea that he had to die for a minute or two before his regeneration succeeded in bringing him back. It's kind of like I was in the hospital. I died for Constantine. I died for 2 minutes. And so technically he committed suicide and gets judged by that. So, I like the fact that while it hurt, and I wonder whether it was necessary to go that far, when they did decide to do it that way, I liked the way they got them in communication because she directs him in the movie.
She does. She's his rock.
Yeah. She's his guide.
Yeah. Oh,
it's what does he need? What does he need to do? Guide. He thinks he's doing these things to get to her. Therefore, again, the spoiler alert, we'll see this again. He thinks he's doing this for her. She's doing it for him. She's giving him what the information he needs, the hints he needs to do it the right way. Get your heart in the right place. Kids, give us an opportunity to be better than we were.
Yeah, and that was a great line from her.
Yeah, and so I give them credit. You can argue with the choice that they're going to kill Vanessa. You have a time traveler in the movie, so we got an out. And look, you want to talk about cheap? You want to talk about lazy writing? Time travel is 90% lazy writing.
Yep.
If you're a fan of science fiction novels and movies, time travel is the one that's done the worst.
That's true.
And it is too often used for the writer to just dig himself or herself out of a hole and keep going and get the story to finish. And time travel done right is an absolute it should be as hard to read as it is to write. That's a good time travel story.
You know what they could have done with Vanessa? What they could have done is maybe kill her to a point where it seemed like she died, but it turns out she didn't. That way, it makes it like either we didn't see the body, or we thought she died. We saw her get shot, but maybe where she got shot kept her alive, but we didn't notice it. Maybe she gone into hiding. Well, like I said, they could have done something to make us believe she was dead, but it turns out she was alive all along. That way, they could still give us the stakes and the belief and the suspense that she's dead, but without actually killing her and having to undo her death with time travel.
Right. Although bringing her
yeah,
back.
Sorry, I was going to print a Deadpool for Christmas. I was loading it up.
Right,
that came up on the other screen.
But I have to. But I just want to say, bringing her back did lead to one of the best post-credit lines.
Oh yeah, I'll admit that too. That some of her the lines that were said like with those scenes were
no. Specifically the cheese spreader.
Oh yeah,
he saves her life by sharpening the cheese spreader. He mentions it at the beginning, and she dies. He goes back, and all he does in the fight to where she died is sharpen the cheese spreader so that when he throws it, it doesn't bounce; it kills him. I loved that. Mm-hmm. I loved that. That was actually using time travel in a way that makes the movie fun.
I agree.
At least it was fun.
Yeah, because he's like, at least I didn't have to. We didn't have to use the cheese. I didn't have to kill someone with the cheese spreader, or use the cheese spreader, and then she gets, tragically killed. Horribly killed. But it ties it all really well together. Yeah, it's just that's a lot of fun. Yeah.
Now here's another drawn out joke that drove me crazy. I thought it was funny at first. But he kept talking, waking back up. I was like, okay, are you gonna die or not? That drove me crazy. And at first, I thought it was funny. I did, but that's just like that he kept waking back. It was like 3 or 4 times he did it. To me, that was a thing you do once, no more than twice. But it was 3 or 4, and it's just like, okay, this is now getting annoying. Now, to be fair, once we finally do see him about to go, I did like this scene. Once again, the Deadpool Vanessa stuff to me is just always A+ material. They had great chemistry together. Even though they're not married, I did like their chemistry together. And I like how she mentions how Deadpool mentions her, don't fuck Elvis, and her response is don't fuck Colossus. Oh man, that was hilarious.
That is good. Deadpool's death scene goes from being ironic to being irritating to being bad movie making. Mm-hmm. It was in character. It was in character for a while, but not to the end.
Yeah. It started as amusing, got irritating, and it straight up got saved by that Vanessa scene. It straight up saved it, because had that scene not been as good as it was, dude, oh boy, yeah, this movie would definitely been rated a bit lower. It's amazing how much she shines when you have those scenes. This is once again why I wish if we were to have to have a dramatically reduced role, they should have just found a way to make it seem like she died versus her actually dying. But to be fair, on the flip side, her death got us those scenes, because that was really good. The don't fuck else, don't fuck Colossus. That was fucking amazing. So I will acknowledge the flip side of that argument, saying that was done very well. So I can at least cut some slack, because that shit saved it. It was like, we're getting there. Ooh, up, down, 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 up. That's kind of how it was. Up, down, 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 and then up.
Yeah, this movie understands that her character is crucial to the movie, even though her presence isn't in the movie. Okay, because they find a way to bring her and make her part of the story. Mm-hmm. Unlike the third movie, for whatever reason, and I have ideas for it, but they'd be speculation, where she's essentially reduced to an extra.
Oh, God, yeah.
And it hurts the movie. I mean, the movie doesn't have a good enough reason. You have to have seen this movie to understand the reason. with why Wade is going to go through everything he does.
I forgot that line. What the fuck, step?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh
God.
But yeah,
The credits are
I
awesome
think
again,
I think that's one of the biggest missed opportunities, one of the biggest missteps of the sequels to Deadpool is the way Vanessa's character is handled, the way their relationship is portrayed. It's better here than it is in the third, but that's not saying much because there isn't one in the third. There just isn't a relationship.
Well, yeah, and
Ryan
unfortunately
Reynolds,
she's
Winnie the Pooh. That was funny.
yeah,
Yeah.
because unfortunately she's they've broken up. Yeah, so
Well, it's the point. I think the point is that breakup was instigated by real life. I don't think that was just a script writing choice. I think that was well, your part's going to be smaller because of this. And I don't know whether it was said or what. That's why I said this is all speculation. But yeah, that gave me that has the feeling of it was done intentionally, not for the benefit of the movie or the script or
You
the
definitely
story.
feel the impact with her being less in the movie. You feel the impact, that's for sure.
Yep.
It does play differently, and I think that definitely plays a Gwim's comment about saying it's was as fun or entertaining as friends. That's the thing. It's got those moments, but a lot of the repetitive jokes and the hints of like the PC woke, what agenda, the message, whatever you want to call it, culture seeping in was definitely the most prominent in this movie with some of those lines. And she said, I love Deadpool's arc with his love for Lady Death and books. Which book was that? I actually have not read that. I'd like to actually know. I've known sporadically about, but I haven't seen it. But I'll be right back. Now, yeah, that was great. How
yeah.
Definitely naming our kids Cher. That part
Yes.
I enjoyed. That part I
Yeah.
enjoyed. So once again, the bad humor. Luckily, there's good humor that levels out some of the bad humor. It really is, to me, reminds me of what happens when there's too much Deadpool in Marvel. You get too much of the jokes, and I feel like that you gotta have that balance. And this movie kind of like overdoes everything. Now, this is great. Him killing
This is awesome.
X-Men Origins, Wolverine, and then killing himself when he's casted for Hal Jordan, Green Lantern. This stuff is all great. I'll bring the overlay down for this. That was great. Oh shit, fucking up here. There we go. Yeah,
I saw
awesome.
this movie.
I'll go back a couple. Yeah.
Yeah, I watched this movie and I thought that integrating him into this with Cable's time travel device was brilliant.
It was.
It desperately
was great.
Yeah, and it desperately needed to happen.
Oh God, yeah.
It was really, oh my God, that was so much the worst part of that movie.
Oh God, yeah. Oh,
and this is great. But one day your old pal Wade's gonna call him, but he does. Yeah. I just love that, the foreshadowing. You know that this is all that was written by Ryan Reynolds in the hope that he would get Deadpool and Wolverine greenlit.
Right.
And so it rings really well. And this, of course, is hysterical. I didn't even know that Reynolds hated Green Lantern.
Well, I don't know if he hated the character. I know he hated doing the movie.
The movie,
he
loves the character.
He hated the complete CG suit, which I agreed with him on. I thought he was finely casted for the role, but he should have never, ever had worn a completely CG suit. They should have had a better done villain for it.
It should have been more in space too. We needed more of the core.
More in space, more of a space cop movie. I love Hal Jordan, our buddy Lord Thoth, our mutual friend. He's an even bigger fan. And there you go, the killing of Hitler, right there.
Yeah. And then I'll skip to the end, but so and then he goes to the end. And I think, and Reynolds does. You said, he does the voice of Juggernaut, right? Yeah.
Well, it's a voice of Juggernaut as himself.
Yeah, himself. Yeah, as a joke. That's just an inside joke because that's Reynolds himself. Yeah.
Oh,
no, it's not.
No,
not according to IMDb. It's not.
Oh,
no, I read that it was Ron Reynolds' voice as Juggernaut.
Hang on. Okay. Where the heck is it?
Well, while you're
Steve Bannister, Brad Pitt. Yeah, but let me get to the end of the credits.
I'm gonna acknowledge this comment here. Hey, fellas, before you go, how do you feel about Deadpool's future in cinema? Nick, Volume 2 of Deadpool. Okay, I'm remember that Volume 2 of Deadpool. Thank you for that information because now I actually want to read that. As far as Deadpool's future, I'm pretty sure he's in Doomsday. Now, is my interest of Doomsday there for me personally? No, not really. Now, would I be interested in seeing a Ryan Reynolds Deadpool movie? Yeah, I actually kind of would be. I feel like he does have a lot more pull and a lot more sway where he can get away with more. And then that's obviously for better and worse, depending, obviously his personality doesn't gel with everyone. But if him and Sean Levy were to work together again, they definitely are seem to be a yin and yang to each other. I feel like if you have the right personnel, and that's obviously the case you can apply to most things, is if they're compatible. So it's not something that I feel like would be necessarily bad. It's probably one of the few things that could come out of the current timeline, we'll just say, and probably still be worth a watch. So that's how I feel. I don't know. What do you think, Mark? What are your thoughts on this? Do you think we could still get another good Deadpool movie in the current times? Where are you at?
I think we definitely can. I mean, I think we can. And there's the thing is, you just don't want to get too repetitive, too, right? You quote unquote done that trilogy of movies, and you just got to come up with a good idea and don't make it time travel again, or bring in some of the. I guess now they've got the rights to all the characters now, so there's no other than the joke was in these movies it was the budget, but before it was they didn't have the rights. Well, part of it was a budget, and didn't have the rights to the whole the whole universe. I guess they did get permission to get Ben Grimm the thing in from the studio. They let him, of course the FF wasn't being used, so they let them bring him in. But yeah, it's there's stuff there that it's such a fun character, and Reynolds just does it so well. But has he said anything that they would ever contemplate doing another film or?
Nothing, there's been talks about should there be another Deadpool and Wolverine, but there's nothing that's really become of any of it. It's just conversations,
conversation,
and
yeah.
who knows what will happen there. I do like that there is the acknowledgement of a lot of the creatives here: Joe Kelly, Louise Simonson, Fabian Nicieza. Obviously, they're acknowledging James Mangold because he did direct Logan. So I did like the extra knowledge of creatives. To me, that is a very important part that a lot of things still get wrong to this very day. And who's your
Hugh Jackman, of course? Yeah.
Who's your favorite actor? Like the best comic book character casting kind of deal. Oh boy, as far as best casting, man, I have to think long on that one. I mean, the red shirt, you're more of like I guess you could say a normie in that regard. What do you think has been the best comic book character casting from a more normie perspective?
Christopher Reeve as Deadpool, as Superman.
Yeah.
Holy shit!
Christopher Reeve as Deadpool. That would be an interesting one.
Oh, we got to CGI that one. God bless Christopher.
Yeah, a lot of it. Christopher Reeve is Superman. Ryan Reynolds is Deadpool, and Tobey Maguire is Peter Parker. Are my top three. And I'd hate to try and pick number one, although if I had to pick number one, it would be Superman.
Oh, Lord. Yeah, Margot Kidder is great as Lois Lane. I love her as Lois. Carl Urban as Dredd. I don't feel like it gets enough appreciation. God, it smells like Hitler's anus. So I'm going to say Charlie Cox as Daredevil. I love Charlie Cox as Daredevil. I think he really solidified the deal on that role. I mean, I agree with everyone's choices between the chat and on the panel, whether it's Dredd or Margot Kidder, but I love Charlie Cox as Daredevil. I think that was a great one. Obviously, Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man. Chris Evans as Captain America is great. Trying to think about. Oh yeah, Wesley Snipes as Blade, dude.
Yeah,
that's a big one. That to me is like, how does that man not get enough respect even after Deadpool and Wolverine came out? I remember the theater lost its mind, which we'll get to that next week. But as they should do, Wesley Snipes had the first ever Marvel movie, which obviously we did Toxic Tuesday. I think it was last year. Wesley Snipes, come on. That guy.
Yeah.
Well, guys, I know it's next week, but I'm sure you'll all forgive me if I play this specific clip because it will always be relevant in my eyes.
Where do you get that little beauty?
That's Punisher's AT4.
Which Punisher? There's been like 5 of them.
There's only been one Blade. There's only ever going to be one Blade.
I mean, he's
He
not
looked at the
wrong.
camera.
And Debut,
Yes.
ooh, Ray Stevenson was great as Frank
Yeah.
Castle. I agree on that one too. Ray Stevenson was awesome in Warzone.
But you're gonna
dude.
allow that better saying someone is better than Dolph Lundgren on this channel?
I will allow it because Punisher Warzone is the best Punisher movie. I will
Yeah,
allow that
joking.
because
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Hey.
Oh, and by the way, I got a mea culpa. This is my confusion, not knowing the comic book characters as well as you guys. I got two characters confused. Stefan Kapicic was the voice of Colossus,
Yeah, yeah.
and Ryan Reynolds was the voice of Juggernaut. Yes. So
Damn it,
yeah, I got him crossed up.
Tollback had
Well,
to be that
they're
guy.
similar sizes, right? Yep.
Tollback had to be that guy. Nick Weiser loves Charlie Cox, of course. Of course.
For obvious reasons.
Oh, that's another essential one. J.K. Simmons is Jameson. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great casting.
Oh,
too.
see,
Yeah,
the chandelier scene that's based off of stuff that actually happened in the Garth Ennis run, dude. That's actual comic lore there. I love it.
How many movies? Here's a question for you. How many Marvel MCU, whatever, Marvel Comics based movies had great casting and didn't do well at all? We're not well received.
Man, I'm sure if we think hard enough, we could definitely cross that bridge. You're
gonna have to work, but you're gonna have to work for it. Because I'd argue one of the things that the Marvel movies do very well is have an embarrassment of choice for characters that are really well cast. So the feel is already there. There's an actor who already has got it nailed, and you're left arguing about whether the ending was good, whether time travel was appropriate, was the story too long, did it bog down in places. But nobody's going to argue about Ryan Reynolds playing Deadpool.
How about Matt Salinger as Captain America from the 90s?
Not as much.
He was good. He was good casting. It was good casting though. But I'm just joking. Like this is before the MCU, but he was pretty good. Pretty good casting. But the movie was terrible. Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's only. I mean, to me, from after having seen him as in the Fantastic Four, and then briefly as Captain America, I've got to watch the movies, all of the rest of the movies. The casting there is spot on, because he's not, he needs that super serum to be able to do that. He's not the physical specimen. He's just another soldier. But I just think they do very well. They have done very well with casting. And I think that it has elevated the movies.
So, Cypher Chaos mentioned, I like Kelsey Grammer as Beast. Too bad. Yeah, his movie is not.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a better problem because he was very well casted. And as far as a character I'd like to see, I feel like Glenn Powell, who was, horrifically miscast in that Running Man remake, he would be a great Booster Gold. If for those who know Booster Gold in the chat, he would be awesome. He's got that charisma. He's a big guy too. He's definitely got muscles. He's also got charisma and charm, which is something John Michael Carter has a lot of. I feel like that's a casting that should happen. If you're gonna do a Booster Gold, have Glenn Powell be. Now, if you have to go with a bigger name because we gotta have a name, I guess you could say Chris Pratt would be good. But I feel like if you were to go for a lesser known name, Glenn Powell, for me, is a Booster Gold dream casting waiting to happen. And I'm so glad she mentioned Andrew Garfield, because I've had my criticisms of the movies. And I can always say I can understand people liking Toby better for Peter Parker. But for me, I resonate with Andrew as Spider-Man because there is a distinction between Spider-Man and Peter Parker.
Yeah.
And I always gelled with Andrew personally from Spider-Man to Andrew. To me, once he put on that suit, I'm like, he's Spider-Man. He's Spider-Man. From the look of the suit to his acting of the character. Yeah, we could debate on the Peter Parkers because there's some major flaws there. But man, Spider-Man, dude, he had the
I
perfect
think
muscle for the suit. He had the lean. He was lean and toned too, which is more Spider-Man. Spider-Man's not supposed to be like.
No, he's not bulky. Yeah.
Yeah, he does. McGuire had a bit more bulk to him, and it was just funny because not really a bulky guy. But when you compare the two side by side, he does have more bulk compared to Andrew. Andrew had that slim look, which is very fitting. So actually, it's something that kind of leaps off like a Spider-Man comic page when I see that. So yeah, I loved his quipping too. His quipping was dead on. His quipping was so
Yeah.
He had the right tone of voice for the quipping too, because you also have to have a right tone for the quipping as well,
Yep.
not just the jokes, but also how he sounds. And his voice sounded jokey. So
Yeah.
I really like Andrew Garfield for that. And I feel like a lot of people who weren't appreciating Andrew Garfield in those movies had a bit of a renewed appreciation when they saw how great he was in No Way Home. And I had to like tell my younger brother this because he said, "Oh, he's so bad as Spider-Man." I'm like, listen, I can understand why you don't like the movies, but you gotta look at it as take the writing aspect of it, the bad writing, see it as is he a good actor dealing with shitty material. Once he saw him in No Way Home, he understood how great he really could have been because he had much better material to work with. And suddenly people started liking Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man because of No Way Home. So, and regardless of people's thoughts of No Way Home, we can all agree that it redeemed Andrew Garfield because he got a raw deal. He really got a raw deal. He was the right
he had
actor.
bad scripts.
He was the right actor at the wrong place and wrong time.
Yeah. I guess this goes back to when we've had these discussions before. Is your background for a character in the comic books? Is it in the movies, or is it in my case, the late 1960s Spider-Man cartoon?
Oh God. I mean, when I first think of Spider-Man, first it comes down to the original Spider-Man comic run. That's the first thing that comes to my mind.
Of course.
Romita Sr., Ditko, Buscema, a lot of those guys as far as art styles, and then of course, the appearance of Spider-Man. Now, obviously, probably the art that's been used the most for promotional materials, probably either John Romita Sr., probably followed by like Mark Bagley would come later on. This has turned into comic shows. Yeah,
I have no idea what you're talking about, but keep going.
Green Goblin in both the Andrew Garfield movie, the look, and in even the Tobey Maguire's back, because in the Tobey Maguire movie, he looked like a Power Ranger. He looked like but Willem Dafoe is so damn engaging and acted the Norman Osborn part so well, especially in front of that mirror, that we were able to forgive it because that mirror scene was so freaking good. It is like, you want to talk about peak Willem Dafoe acting, nailing Norman Osborn, that scene where he talks to himself in that mirror, dude. That's why I've always made it very clear that my favorite of the Tobey movies was the first movie, because I feel like the villain arc was done the best. It was a full-on villain, and I blame the second movie for being ground zero of the sympathetic villain arc. As much as I love Alfred Molina, he was well casted for Doc Ock, but you could see the sympathetic villain bleeding into that movie. And I saw that shit way back 21 years ago. And I just felt like Spider-Man didn't take off his mask every other second. And that was another trope. That movie is ground zero for that too. For the constantly taking off the mask. That drove me crazy.
Oh, I hated that.
Because in the first movie, he kept the suit on a significant amount. He just stopped to talk and then take the mask off every time when he needed to speak. He just spoke. What a concept. What a concept. Oh.
Yeah. The whole mask thing, it's been I think that the technically, the way the materials can be made, the way that the shot can be done, the CGI that can be added in post production, unless you're talking through a metal helmet, if you're wearing a cloth mask, they ought to be able to give you the opportunity to act in the mask, in the costume. And then taking off the mask has to have a good reason for a character. And I agree with you. When they just take it off so we can talk, that doesn't make any sense.
They kept doing that in the freaking Ant-Man movie, the last Quantumania, Suckamania movie, and and Cassie is there, and she like puts her superhero costume like after they've only been almost been killed a few times, and then they're fighting, and like you said, Red Shirt, they pop their masks off or helmets off to talk during a freaking fight, and it's like, what, you freaking insane? It's like you're keeping that shit on. Especially Cassie, who had like the hidden costume. Like, oh, Dad's gonna get mad, but maybe he's gonna be kind of happy that I've got my superhero outfit that gives us powers, in this crazy world. But yeah, it just takes you out of it too much. And of course, it's an actor's vanity, and it's probably the directors too. They both, because they're paying a lot of money for these actors. But it's like that's why we want to, we want to see these characters. And Spider-Man's not taking his mask off. Unless he's got to turn into Bagman, because he loses his costume or something. But yeah, just one of those things. It's freaking annoying. It happens way too much. Yeah.
The flip side of that argument, Mark, is that you're paying a lot of money to this actor to play a character in a superhero movie. Treat acting with a mask on as part of what you're getting paid to do.
Yep.
Yep. And Mecha J nailed it. Yeah, there's scenes where he didn't. Yeah, and that drove me crazy. It's like, bro, just stop, man. Come on. It was just not needed. So, I saw Congolese care about Andrew Garfield wanting the character. He had mentioned that in comments and an interview, but as far as when it came to actually making the movie, there was no follow through. It was all talk, and I'm glad it didn't fall through. And what he said offset didn't happen on set, and that's fine with me because it didn't actually get a follow through. It doesn't make what actually followed through any different because what he did in No Way Home was great. Is it a stupid idea? Yeah, because it's a character you don't need it for. Yeah, I agree with that, but it didn't fall through, so I'm good. I'm all good. Yeah. Thanos in the air. Oh God, where he's bald is like, bro, wear the fucking helmet. Just stop. Don't get me wrong. I like Josh Brolin as Thanos, but he didn't need to have his helmet off the bulk of the time. Wear the damn helmet, dude. Especially for a CG character, bro. Just stop. Just stop. And it's an undercut, but Man Thing. But it's Man Thing. The character Man Thing is great. That's a very underrated character. And yes, rest in peace, Hulkamania, indeed. I think Gwen's in Florida, if I recall. She's a Florida lady. That's cool. And dude, Carl Urban. Now that's a guy right there. He wore the helmet the entire movie and didn't make a single fuss about it. Not one. Okay, chat, it's clear we could go on all night about this, and we're having fun with it, which I appreciate the hell out of you guys for doing. But we want to play some clips for you. But however, if we do it here, YouTube is going to be asshole. So what we're going to do is we're going to get our toxic scores here between the panel and the chat. And then we're going to transition to Rumble. Yes, we will still transition. We'll play a few clips there and call it a night. So, Mark, what is your toxic thoughts on Deadpool 2?
Yeah, I don't know if I mean, it's definitely a toxic movie, right? And Nick always picks the best movies. We talk together, but never second guess Nick's picks because he always does an awesome job.
Thank you.
At what movie? Always have confidence in our leader here, but maybe a 7. I think I gave the first one an 8. I think it's got all the toxic stuff in it, but it's more of like a toxic humor, I think, versus like the X-Force the whole X-Force crowd, except for Domino dying on the way down. And there's a lot, the International Women's Day joke, they bring that back, and the rift of calling Cable racist, during the movie. and of course you've got the ultimate horrible people. The people in the asylum that are abusing the young people. Yeah, that's they're the most toxic. But yeah, Deadpool is he's just so off the cuff, just crazy and breaking the fourth wall. So yeah, and killing Vanessa, that was pretty toxic too, right? So yeah, what the hell did they just
And that was a lady I wanted in the movie. Like,
yeah,
she
yeah,
should. Oh man, that's the thing.
yeah.
There are sometimes those type of roles can bring down like an action movie, but she's one of those ones where it straight up elevates a movie. So I
'Cause the
guess that's a
chemistry.
testament to the chemistry of Marina as an actress. She's an exception to the rule. God
She's
give that
good.
credit.
She's hot. She's beautiful, and yeah, they pull that off. And if we got her as copycat, that might have been pretty fun to see. But we didn't get that. But yeah, and then she's not in the next movie really either, which is kind of she's the reason that the universe is falling apart because he had with the time travel or part of the reason because the universe is not right. But yeah, this is definitely a toxic toxic movie. Yeah, it's just crazy. Yep. I just get crazy that I can't believe they got it made. Just when you think
Mhm.
about it, like
Yeah,
if you
yeah,
told me
yeah.
they're gonna make this movie and then make fun of all the studios and make fun of all these different things, it's like, wow, I can't believe it. Yep, yep. So pretty awesome. Yeah, but yeah, fun. Not as good as the first one, but it's a fun watch. And check out that extended super duper edition. Adds a little bit to it, so you might enjoy that too. Yeah.
You guys have absolutely convinced me now that I need to see the super duper cut. I am all in. I'm in like Donkey and Diddy Kong now to want to watch it. And I'm gonna do it. I'm going in. I'm going in,
Yep.
Mark.
Going in.
Oh,
Going in.
all right.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna acknowledge these scores and we'll pass it
Yeah.
on to Red Shirt. Jonathan Conroy gives a 7. Jonathan 93 Mega, Toxicity 8. Mecha J, Toxic 8. Darth Vader not as toxic as 1, but still very toxic. I agree on that. 7 out of 10. Those are our scores. Let's see if there's any on Rumble. There's not. But we got Red Shirt who will have a score as well. So, sir, why don't you tell us your toxic thoughts on Deadpool 2?
Oh, once again, we have a movie where the main character looks you right in the eye in the audience and goes, "Buckle up. It's going to be a bumpy night."
Yeah.
As far as toxicity goes, we get everything you expect from Deadpool in this movie.
Cross shot to the face of Cable alone.
Yes.
5 points
Yeah.
alone in my book. Alone 5 points. But
Yes.
go on.
The for all the joke, for all of the PC joke lines that he uses that just go on and on and on, it's wonderfully toxic and actually funnier that the character that rebuts him is a black female afroed character who's the one going, "I'm with the old white guy here." So, you get that going for it. You have the predator who's the school administrator. Oh, that's not on the nose.
Yep.
The teacher and administrator who's and it's a school full of predators that prey on the kids. And I'm like, everybody wants to say, but you always hear it on Twitter, but what about the priests? What about the Catholic Church? It's like, dude, you don't hear anywhere. You never heard anywhere near as many reports as you do from schools. So, it was sort of it was one of those untouchable subjects, and they went there and they blasted it. So that one for me was one of the big, when I realized, holy crap, this is one of the unmentionable topics that they're playing with here. They've got two characters for this.
Yeah.
One who gets killed early and one who gets wiped out by Dopinder. I mean, come on, Karma. We'll let Karma do its thing. Hey, Karma's on its way, dude. I can hear you coming. So, the movie is great for that. Cable's reactions to Deadpool's digs are just absolutely wonderful. They are the audience going, oh, get on with it. So, so with the high points there, I mean, I could just go on and on and on with this because there's just so many little things that they did, so many one-liners. Watch the movie, see how many of them you get, and just assume you missed a few when you watch this movie, because unless you really hit that pause button or you are very quick on the uptake, you will keep seeing new things in this movie each time you watch it. So I would put this at a 9.8 for toxicity.
Woo! Nice. I like that. Oh, yes. Okay. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Red Shirt. Let's see if there's any more scores. Yes. The PVS, Peter Venkman Fansite, Toxicity 8 on Rumble. Psychomagus 7. That looks like those scores. For me, I'm gonna go like at 8.5. There's the Don't Fuck Elvis, Don't Fuck Colossus, cross shot the Cable in the face. A lot of the Deadpool dialogue is still toxic. And I like how some of the ladies actually have the more logical dialogue. So points for them for that. I like that shit. So the violence, mayhem, the fun, the breaking the third wall. It's still like, even though it's nowhere as good as the first movie, a lot of the toxicity is still there. So that definitely makes up for it in spots. So we get that. I'm all about that. And Masgrave, you be the man you want to be. You are Masgrave. As long as you are Masgrave, that's all I give a rat's ass about, dude. So see it when you want to see it. Be your own man and see it when you want to. You march to the beat of your own drum, my dude. Okay, I feel like I'm. Well, then, if you want to fill yourself up, go all the way in and watch it. Then, if you want to be a man that's felt fulfilled, just do it. Just do that. Okay. But chat, we have signed off on our toxic scores. We are gonna Rumble over on Rumble, and we're gonna post the link one more time so you can transition with us. And we're gonna watch a handful of clips over there. Okay. Thank you, Dad Man, for that super chat earlier. For those of you who came here to support us exclusively on YouTube, thank you for your time, your contributions, and your enthusiasm and your honesty. Because obviously, we all had our complaints on this one, but we can definitely acknowledge the good and the bad of the movie because we are critical thinkers here. And I once again, I just love that you guys show up for Toxic Tuesday. That shit doesn't go unnoticed and unappreciated. And Vince, thank you for plugging our men's plugs in the chat. So hope to see a lot of you on Rumble. Please transition with us. I would really, really appreciate if you transition with us. For those of you who don't transition with us, well, thanks for watching the show. You have a magical evening. We'll see you all next week for Deadpool and Wolverine, aka episode 200. All right, we're going to go Rumble exclusive in 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we are pulling out of YouTube now.